Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Money and More Show. My name is Wendy Cassera, and I'm your hostess. I own Taxpectations, where we do bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, and all things taxes. All roads lead to taxes, and that's where we go with everything that we do. I can be found on the internet everywhere that you go. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You know, you could just sit here and just kind of, look up into your head and say, let's see if I can find all these social media sites that we're supposed to all belong to. And I think I belong to a lot of them. But, I have a website and I have email and I have a fax, e-fax, and a regular fax and copier and scanner and all kinds of technology so I can work everywhere that you are all over the United States of America and even into Canada. I've got Canada clients too, which is kind of really exciting. Anyhow, today we're going to be talking about saving monies. We did a show a couple weeks ago that apparently did not happen because of technological difficulties. And this one's going to be a little bit better because I've done a little bit more work with it. So that's why that happened that way, so that we can improve things. But as you know, I always attempt to start my show off with some quotes, And I've said this before, but wow, there are so many quotes out there. It's always hard to pick the ones. So I'm going to pick a couple because I like a couple. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. It says all days are not the same. Save for a rainy day, because when you don't work, your savings will work for you. And that is important because we're going to talk about that today. Saving money is, yes, saving money at the store or saving money, but, here and there on what you spend, but also saving money, putting some savings aside. Very, very important. Let's see. There were two other ones that I really liked, and one of them seems to have gone away. It went away. It must not have been that important, right? I mean, yeah, okay. But there was one more that I wanted to say. It has nothing to do with saving. It just was kind of cool. It popped up. I liked it. Anytime you're afraid to try something new, just remember that amateurs built the Ark and professionals built the Titanic. I think that's a really great saying, because I know that sometimes it's hard to jump into new ventures. I've actually talked to a couple people this morning already. One got a job offer, and he's really excited. He owns his own business now, but the job offer, the management position, is something he thinks he really will enjoy, and he's going to jump in with both feet, and I think that's absolutely awesome. And, there's always new roads, new crossroads in our life, and new directions, and do I take a left or do I take a right? Just think about that. Don't let fear be the thing that stops you from going out there and building an ark. Okay, so saving money. What an interesting topic that is, because that means so many things to so many people. We're not only talking about saving money like a savings account, like putting money away, which, by the way, is very, very important. You should create a savings goal, and you should put a time frame for the goal, as you should with all goals that you make for yourself, etc. And you can use your budget that we've talked about last week, and I've done other shows on, to help you determine what that savings can be, and then you can build it up. But in the meantime, you got to have the money to have the savings. And a lot of people say, well, I just don't make enough money to put money into savings. And I thought it was very interesting. James Frick, quote, "Don't tell me where your priorities are. Show me where you spend your money, and I'll tell you what they are." I thought that was kind of really an interesting quote, don't you think? A lot of people say that they don't have money for this or that, but it's where you spend your money. You have money. It's a matter of what do you want to spend it on, and where do you spend it. So let's go on. We're going to do some tips. We're going to do some ideas. We're going to do some thoughts about savings accounts. We're going to do some other tips on how you can save money in your everyday, day-to-day life, and some other things. I came up with some really neat ones. If you're really lost and you decide that you like what I found and you want to add to it, there's a billion and one on the internet. Google it, how to save money. It's really an interesting thing. But in my experiences and running around and talking to people and all the things I'm doing, I'm going to take a little bit of a different take on some of this. There are simple ways to save money. Number one, how about saving all your loose change, right? Put it in a box, put it in a can. Remember, it used to be people would put all their pennies in those big water jugs, and I think there are still some people that do. I myself get shoe boxes. I just love the whole shoebox thing. And I've got a couple shoe boxes full of change. And that rainy day that we talked about that's going to occur, I'm going to one of these days just go down and stick that into one of those coin counters or go to the bank. The banks now will do your coins for you, so you don't have to pay the fee at the little coin counter thing at the grocery store, and get all my coins put together and add it up. I figure I've probably got a couple $100 in coins. Don't you think? That would be kind of cool, huh? That's my hope. Is like to have a couple $100 worth of coins in those shoe boxes. Just because one day you really want to go to the movies or go out to dinner and you splurge on yourself, and that's okay. Saving loose change for a rainy day. How about another thing is getting one of those bank accounts that round up for savings. I know Bank of America did it for a long time. I don't know if they still do it. I don't have an account with Bank of America, but it used to be you'd go to the store and you spend $20.20, and they say, well, do you want to round up? And the bank would automatically take that debit card, that 80 cents that goes up to $21, and take that 80 cents and put it over to a savings account. And I'm telling you that there are a lot of people that do that, and it really, really works for them. Again, it's helping put money away. It's helping you to save money, and that is important. When you're doing your savings, even if you can only do $1 a day, $20 a month, $20 a week, something is really, really important to put something away. The later it gets, the later it gets. And I'm feeling my what's the word I'm looking for? This month is my birthday. I'll be turning the big 50, just so now all of you know. But I'm really noticing that there are a lot of years behind that I didn't save money the way that I should be, that I don't have as big of a retirement plan as I would like to have. And, the time sneaks up on you. And pretty soon you're older and you realize, do you have kids that are going to take care of you? What happens if you have to go into a nursing home? I love being an entrepreneur, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs, but they're the worst. They don't put together a savings account or a retirement plan, and then you get along in the years and you get to the point where you need that and it's not there. Even the IRS and the Social Security Administration are making changes in the way that income, that you're going to be required to report your income so that you can show Social Security income. All these women that their husbands have always made the money and they're not showing up as having, a lot of income, so they're not going to get a very large Social Security check when the time comes. So anyways, I digress. Back to saving money. Let's see, lots of little things you can do. Here's another way to save money. Save an amount equal to your indulgences. So, for instance, say that you're a soda drinker and you go to the gas station, which I hate it when people do that. You go to the gas station, you spend $2.25 on a soda. Then take $2.25 and put it aside. Put it in a savings account. Put it in your shoe box or your cigar box or whatever box you have. You decide you're going to go out to lunch tomorrow. Take the amount that you spend on your lunch, take an equal amount and go put it in a savings account. Really, really interesting and good way to save money. Show how much money and it also helps you track how much money you're spending on your little indulgences. You go buy an ice cream, a pair of shoes, a 6-pack of beer, take the same amount of money and put it away into a savings account. Speaking of these indulgences, one of the things I did in one of these seminars I gave, and I'm going to be giving another workshop here pretty soon, but talking about costing things. We talk about our money log. On my website, I've got that page. It's a money log. You talk about your money log. You log everything that you do, every penny that you spend on everything. But now, say that you're not an entrepreneur. Let's say that you work a job. You work over at an outlet store, which are great places to shop and save money instead of going to the name brand. Go to their outlet. You work at an outlet store. You make $10 an hour. Okay. You decide that you are going to spend Friday night out with your friends, and you're going to go to the sushi place. You're going to have sushi and a couple of drinks. And think about all of that. You're going to sit there for 2 hours, say, at the sushi bar. You're going to order sushi. You're going to order a couple drinks, maybe an appetizer. Who knows? You're going to spend $40 or $50. Okay, let's say you spent $50. That is 5 hours worth of work this week that you worked just to be able to go out for sushi and drinks with your friends. 5 hours. Is it worth 5 hours of your workday to spend that money? And I use that as an example, but you can use that for just about anything. The pair of shoes that you're going to buy that are $40, is it worth 4 hours of your time, of your day, of your paycheck to get that? And think about taxes and stuff, so it's probably going to be closer to 5 hours. Throw that extra hour on there because you got taxes taken out, right? So is it worth 5 hours of your work week? Out of that 40-hour work week, 5 hours of it just for that pair of shoes. So it's really important to think about the cost of things when you're going out to do things. Now, it's not to say let's not go out and have a good time with your friends. But, hey, I'm telling you, go buy a bottle of tequila, go buy some margarita mix, go buy a board game. You're probably going to spend $25. Have them all to your house and spend an evening playing a board game, having fun, drinks at home. A lot more fun. You get to be a lot more boisterous. And let me tell you, it's a lot more fun to sit around for 2 or 3 hours playing a board game with your friends and cutting up and having fun than it is sitting in a restaurant where somebody's going to kick you out and you have to be quiet and not everybody can face everybody, et cetera, et cetera. So you get to have a lot of fun. The other thing you can do is you can do the same thing, board game night, cards, dice. Everybody bring a dish. Everybody bring a drink. Everybody do that. Friday night at your house, you guys can get 5, 6 friends together and you could switch every Friday night at somebody else's house, and everybody brings a dish and everybody brings a drink and somebody brings the cards, the board game, or the dice. And how much cheaper is that on everybody's pocketbook? Take that $40 or $50, put it in a savings bank, voila, you still get to have fun. So there's not, we're not attempting to stamp out the fun evening part. But think about your entertainment. You go to the movies, OMG. I decided I was going to go to the movies about 3 weeks ago. I wanted to go see Age of Ultron. I'm a fan, have to say it. Went to the theater. They had it in IMAX. Decided I'd see it in IMAX. 2 movie tickets, tub of popcorn, bottle of water, and I'm out almost $30. $35. I can't remember exactly what it was. But good grief, I'm telling you what, it reminded me of why I don't go to the movies very often. Go to Redbox, rent it for $1.25, get a bag of popcorn from the store and your favorite drink, because you don't have to settle for a bottle of water, but I like water. Been doing a lot of bottles of water and putting like essential oil, lemon or orange in it. Really, really good. Good electrolytes. Anyhow, how much cheaper would that be? Think of the money that could be saved that way. Another thing is cable. A lot of people have this full, huge, big cable package. A lot of stuff that you want to see, you can find on the internet. I mean, I know the computer's not as big as the TV screen, but how often do you actually sit down and watch the movie channels that you're paying for? Kill the cable bill or knock it down a little bit. That's one way to save a few dollars. Also, you know what? One of the things I read on one of the sites I saw was turning off the TV can save you money. And you sit there and you go, okay, well, how does that work? Well, turning off the TV not only saves you electricity, right? It's a little bit of electricity, not a whole lot, and a lot of people don't pay that much attention. But statistics show that watching all those ads creates in your mindset the need to go out and spend money or eat more or whatever it is that all those ads are showing. So if you're not watching all those ads, you're going to be spending less money on food and on junk and stuff you don't really need. Entertainment. Still some more entertainment stuff. I'm kind of rushing through all this, but there's lots of things to get through. I have pages of it, and I could never get through it all. But how about your vacation? Everybody wants to go on a vacation, and I've heard the saying. I'm sure you have. That's called a staycation. Staying at home. Redo a room in your house or redecorate your house, move things around. But even better, how about you visit some of the neat places in your own town or within a few minutes drive of your town? How many people? I lived at Myrtle Beach for several years. There were months I would go without going to the beach. Months. People pay like thousands of dollars to come and sit at the beach. And we live here and we don't even go to the beach very often. Um, how about some places that have um, places like what are they called? The carnivals. The circus comes to town. There are shows. Again, Myrtle Beach has shows. Most every big town has some kind of shows. Music shows. Go up to Charlotte for NASCAR. um, music, concerts, that kind of thing. Find things in your own town. Not too far out of Myrtle Beach is Spring Gardens. It would take you 2 or 3 days to walk through that whole thing. It's absolutely beautiful and phenomenal. Great place to go. Fairly inexpensive. It's a nonprofit. Beautiful, beautiful place. There are a lot of things probably right in your own hometown or within an hour's drive that you can go see and enjoy and have your vacation that way instead of spending a lot of money on an airplane to fly somewhere, stay at a hotel, eat out every night, and go see things that probably you can find in your own town. Now, it's not to say all the time, but it's a good way to save money. Have a staycation. Um, Also, really nice. Another thing I found somewhere else while I was looking around: plan gift giving in advance. When people's birthdays are going to be, people. It's the same day every year. How about Christmas time, anniversaries, all that? Plan in advance. You get a more thoughtful gift, and most often you're going to spend less. Because if you're going out the night before or the day on the way to the birthday party, you're going to just go buy something, and you're more than likely going to spend more than you would thought about it in advance. So that's kind of a really super good one. Let's see what else. Buying in bulk this can help save you money, which also means going to the grocery store instead of the gas station to get those things. Um, when you go to the grocery store, make a list. Make a grocery list before you go. Never go to the grocery store hungry. Big fault of mine. Big fault. Always make a list. Stick to the list. You'll spend less money. Really, really good idea. But yes, buy in bulk. Also shop around. There's places, there's extreme couponers, and nobody's telling you that you need to become one of those. But they actually look around to see where all the sales are, and they go there and they save hundreds and thousands of dollars a year by doing that. So sometimes it's worth it to kind of just get your Sunday paper or look around the ads. Join those, what are those called? Those free customer rewards programs at the grocery stores you like to go to. I have them at 5 different grocery stores. So I get ads, or I can look at their ads on the internet before I go grocery shopping and know which store, based on the things I need, which one I'm going to spend less money at. The free rewards programs, I never fail. Just if I don't even ever use coupons and I don't even know what's on sale that week, I never fail to save less than $10 or $20 or $30 by using my rewards card versus not. So that's a really good idea of things to do. And speaking of signing up for things, how many of you out there have memberships to things you're not using? Number one, you have the gym membership that you signed up for in January when you had that New Year's resolution to work out every day. Keep hoping you're going to, so you keep holding on to that $20 or $30 or $40 a month membership. Cancel it. Do you know the statistics show that people wait 28 to 32 months on average to cancel a membership they're not using, which is why so many places Um, have membership um, programs. Sign up for my membership program because it's easy money they're going to make and not do anything to earn it because you will not. And that goes with a lot of online memberships. You may be paying $4.99 a month for something or $9.99 a month for a membership to some program that you think is going to help you and you haven't even looked at it. Chances are it's come into your email and you've thrown it into a folder or deleted it altogether. Take the time to go and unsubscribe from those emails. Cancel those unused memberships. You'll be amazed at the amount of money that you will save. About 6 months ago, I did that. I finally broke down, and I spent literally, you wouldn't believe how many emails I get. I spent literally almost all day one day unsubscribing from newsletters and things and deleting memberships to places and things that I don't use. And a lot of people do that. That's why people sell memberships, because people will buy them and not use them. Excuse me. So do that. Oh, also another thing that really, really super important. When you're out and you're doing things, you're paying bills, you're at places, always to be waived, okay? For instance, when I'm dealing with somebody with the IRS, and I'm working on something, they've gotten a letter, they've got interest and penalties and stuff, I always encourage people, and do so for my clients, send a letter asking for those penalties to be waived. If you ask for them to be waived, more than likely they will waive them, depending upon your reason for asking. And a lot of places, like when you go to pay your cell phone bill, and you're a day or two late, and which if you pay for all your bills on time, you will avoid late fees. Sometimes you can ask them to waive the late fee, and a lot of times they just will. If you're getting something hooked up or you're getting new service or you're adding a line to your existing service, ask them to waive the fees. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you do ask, chances are most often people are going to waive those fees for you. So always ask for fees to be waived. Another thing I thought about when I thought about that one was ask if there's a discount for locals or small businesses. You go into businesses like Goodwill has a Senior Citizens Day, and sometimes they won't give the senior citizens discount unless someone asks for it. Not Goodwill, but other places. In Myrtle Beach, a lot of times the restaurants and shows and things that you go to, if you're a local, you'll get a local's discount. They'll give you a little bit of money off. There are other places and other things that you can do that for, a local's discount or for whatever reason. You know, if you laugh and joke and have a good time and do it nicely, a lot of times you can get a discount. If they have discounts available, you go to a new town, you're visiting your child or your parents or, a friend, and you go into a store and you don't have their rewards card. If you ask, just say, hey, I'm just visiting right now. Do you guys have a rewards card? Do you have a store one you can scan for me so I can get the discount? Ask for the fees to be waived. People are nice. They will. They're really nice. Nice. Also, another way to save some money, check your bills for mistakes, people. One of the biggest problems with getting e-bills and not getting a paper bill in the mail anymore is that we tend to pay it without checking it. Now, if we're diligent and we're the ones paying the bills and it's always, we're doing it on our regular schedule all the time, if your bill jumps $100 or $200, you're going to check it because you're like, what the heck happened there? But sometimes if it's a $20 or $30 difference, a $5 or $10 difference, we don't check our bills. My cell phone bill came in this month, and I was like looking at it going, wow, that looks kind of odd. And I pulled it up on the internet because I get most of my bills electronically, and to find out that they had thrown some equipment charge on there that I was like, what is this for? And I called them, and it was a total error, and they took it off. But I know I watch them, but I'm amazed at the number of people who don't. Again, tracking your money and knowing what's going in and out all the time, keeping on top of it is going to help it make it easier for you to track these kind of mistakes. So always check your bills for mistakes. Electric bill, water bill, all those, they do make mistakes. Sometimes the biggest thing with electric bills, and I've seen it time and time and time again, a dozen times if I've seen it once for clients, there are sometimes your meter reader is not reading the meter correctly, and they'll do a guesstimate, and you'll be paying for what the guesstimate is. Look at the voltage used, or voltage, wattage, whatever it is, and I apologize because I don't ever know what that is, what the usage was last month versus the month before. Look at it from last year. Last year during the month of June, it was, 100. This month during the month of June, it shouldn't be that much different. I mean, unless you put a new generator in your house or done something fancy, look and see. Another reason why it's really important to track things so that you can catch these kind of things. And there's lots of little bitty ways to go back. One more thing before I get to the little bitty ways. Some other things with saving money. Reducing your credit card debt by $1,000 can save you up to $200 a year in interest. That is really, really super important. So cut your credit cards down. If you can't pay it off every month, which you should if you possibly can, attempt to reduce it as much as possible. Never, never, never pay the minimum balance due on a credit card. You're just asking for lots more interest to be charged up. Pay your bills on time. That way you don't have late fees. And you can save money that way. But with the credit cards, one of the other things you can do, I attempt to do this for my clients. I don't do it with all of my clients, but a lot of my clients I have the availability to do this. And it's something you should do on a regular basis. At least every 3 months, if not every 3 to 6 months, you should call your credit card company and ask them to reduce your interest rate, especially if you've been paying on time for the last 3 to 6 months. Tell them that you would like them to lower the interest rate. Again, if you don't ask, the answer is no. And a lot of times they'll work with you. Unless you have a really shabby history with them, people will use a credit card that they've had for 3 years and it'll be the same interest rate it was 3 years ago. Call them up and ask. Ask them. Ask for lowering of lowering of interest rates. Pay a little extra each month on that. Also, as far as your bank is concerned, big, 2 things. First, ATM withdrawals only from your bank. You use an outside bank out of the network, you're paying $2 to $3 to $4 a transaction for those ATM fees, and those add up. I do bookkeeping for a lot of people and for companies, and I'm telling you that there are people that give away, throw away money, $100, couple $100 a month to the banks. Number 1, overdraft fees. Number 2, transaction fees for things. The overdraft fees, banks aren't like they used to be. You could race the check to the bank. So you write a check at 8 o'clock in the morning. You write it to this company. Their check doesn't cash usually till the next day. You run over to the bank the next afternoon. You make a deposit so that the deposit clears before the check clears. Well, you can't do that much anymore. Everything the bank does has a timestamp on it. So, for instance, you go use your credit card at 10 o'clock in the morning. As soon as you use your credit card, it's time-stamped. So if you go race to the bank and you make your deposit at 11:30, they know that credit charge went through first, and they'll hit you up for an overdraft fee. All the banks are doing this. Can't race the check to the bank anymore. Everything's time-stamped, so you're paying a lot more in fees every month. Besides which, so many things are so quick to get to the bank that get there before you do. So it's really bad practice. It's always been bad practice. But don't give a couple $100 away to your bank every month. Put that in savings. Pay your bills on time. Cover the check before you write it. Don't play beat the bank. Beat the check to the bank. So, lots of things we went over today. There's a lot of other things that we could find. have yard sales, get rid of old stuff in the back of the closet, old kitchen gadgets, office equipment, household equipment, put it up on eBay or Amazon. You can do swapping of books, music and DVDs on the internet or at the library. Swap them out, get some free ones. Let's see other things that we spout. Shopping at outlet stores. Shop around for your food, shop around for your clothes, shop around for gas. You can save a few cents a gallon depending on where you go to get your gas. Don't wait till you're almost empty so you have to go to the one closest to you. Shop around a little bit. Ask for generic prescriptions from your doctor instead of name brands. Same thing when you're getting over-the-counter medications. Use store brand instead of name brand. You'll save a couple dollars. There's lots of little things like that you can do to save. Biggest thing, don't impulse spend. I have done some discussions in the past, radio shows and other things. I've written blogs about it, on ways you can cut down on your impulse spending. Don't take your credit cards with you. Only take enough cash or a card that specifically has enough money that you're going to spend at the grocery store so that you're not tempted. Give up habits that are expensive. Smoking. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was talking to my son yesterday, actually, and I told him how proud I was. He quit smoking a couple years back. And, yeah, he said, if nothing else, Mom, he says, that is a really expensive habit to have. I'd rather have the money to spend on something else, and that was a smart thing for him to say. Smoking is a very, very expensive habit. Think of all the money you can save, not to mention your health. Lots of little things like that. Take lunch to work instead of eating out. Take leftovers. Cook big meals. I spend Sunday cooking meals ahead, so I have meals for the week. Cook big casseroles or big crock pot meals, and that way you have some leftovers. And you can repurpose leftovers. There's a lot of little things that you can do to save money here and there and everywhere. And if you would like more information about that or anything else to do with your money, bookkeeping, finances, taxes, and everything else, always call Wendy at Taxpectations. I'll be happy to have a free consultation with you to go over this and so many other things. We've talked about budgeting and setting yourself up on a budget. So I just love talking about money and saving ways and helping people. You know why? Because it just makes me happy. So I hope it makes you happy. I hope you have enjoyed our show. Let's hear a little bit about the happy song, and then we'll talk about next week.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space with the air like I don't care, baby. By the way, because I'm happy. Clap along.
I love it. One of the quotes that I ran across while I was doing everything was, of course, Will Smith. I just love Will Smith. He says, it's funny because too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Why does that happen? And, of course, there's always, lots of other quotes. We are moving along in our Money Mondays and some of the things we can do to improve our money. And we're going to keep on that vein next week. We're going to be talking a little bit about bookkeeping. And we're going to be talking about how to track and keep track of your bookkeeping, either for your business or for your personal, because I do both here, and it's important that you do both. A lot of people think of bookkeeping in terms of their own, their business or where they work does bookkeeping, but they don't think about bookkeeping in and of their home. And it's a lot easier to track and do your budget if you're doing a little bit of bookkeeping. So we're going to talk about bookkeeping and different ways you can do bookkeeping and all that sort of thing next week. Again, this is Wendy Cassera with Taxpectations, free consultations. Give me a call. Find me on Facebook. Email me at wendy@taxpectations.com. And until we speak again, enjoy your week, afternoon, day, time, etc., etc., etc. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.